Hello everyone, welcome to Pete CD Vinyl World. Today I wanted to do the vinyl tag that's going around. This is the Rob Walker version. There's a couple different versions going around, I guess, and people are picking which ones they want to do and has different questions. But so I figured I'd do this one. I think this is the one I do every year. Doesn't seem like a lot of people are even doing them this year. I don't know if the whole thing's kind of played out, but anyway, this one has 22 questions. And before I begin, if you like these videos, please subscribe. And first question is, favorite album purchased in 2021? And I'm going to go with an old copy of YT Contagious. Kind of tough to find on vinyl. Anything from the late 80s in the hard rock area is pretty hard to find. Album by First Person You Saw Live. Van Halen. I saw them with Sammy Hagar. Not on this tour, on the OU812 tour, the next one. So that's the first band I ever saw live. Album by a duo. It's Whitford St. Holmes. Of course, Brad Whitford from Aerosmith and Derek St. Holmes from Ted Nugent. They only put out one album at the time. They did put out an album a couple of years ago, I think. But basically, they just have the one album. And it's pretty good. Better than probably any of the Aerosmith and Ted Nugent albums at the time they released this. Album in the Shrink. I just picked this one. I knew it was in the Shrink. It's The Flock. Sort of like a prog-ish band. I don't know. A lot of people seem to like this. I don't really care for it too much. I don't know how to describe it. I guess maybe hippie-ish prog, if that makes sense. But I think they had a few albums out. Concept album. Now I picked a concept album, meaning songs have some sort of connection thematically rather than a rock opera like Tommy, where it's his actual story. To me, a concept album is something that's loosely based on a theme or a concept. So, relating to Tommy, I picked one of Pete Townshend's solo albums, White City. You really never know. Besides Tommy and maybe Quadrophenia, all of his concept albums, you really don't know what they're about. Kind of. I mean, that's what I get from. Album you've not played yet. I actually don't have any I haven't played yet because I've tried to keep up with everything at least once listening to it. But I'll show you something I listened to once, which was this Jimi Hendrix exclusive from Walmart. It's the Atlanta Pop Festival. I think this was put out on CD. I looked it up several years ago, and it had the whole concert. This is just, it looks like it would be the second disc or the second half of the concert. And this is also on white vinyl with like swirl marks. Artists you've discovered in 2021. I found this in the dollar bin. I had never heard of this band, Rabbit. They're from Canada. Kind of like AOR rock, but it's pretty good actually. Apparently they had a few albums out. Never heard of them. I got this out of dollar bin at a record store, but it was pretty good. A live album. I picked up this year. Mother of Invention at the Fillmore East, 1971. I've never been a fan of this era of the band, the Flo and Eddie lineup. Kind of more like a comedy, vaudeville type lineup. But, I mean, this is pretty good for what it is, I guess. They're coming out with like an 8 CD version of this with the complete concerts, but I'm definitely not interested in getting that. Album from a different continent. I took that as like a pressing from a different continent. So this is a UK pressing of Elvis Costello. What is this? Armed Forces. And I think this is different than the US one. There's a song, I forgot which one of his singles is on the US one, but it's not on this. So there's a different song on here. Album with a price sticker. I just looked real quick and I saw that this one has the Shrink and the price sticker. $7.39. I mean, that's pretty pricey for when this came out, right? Punk or new wave album. I picked this up at a yard sale this summer. It's called Streets, and it's basically a bunch of bands from 1977, sort of like demos or just singles from a bunch of bands. It's a combination of like punkish ska, English pop, sort of, but none of the bands, I believe, ever amounted to anything except there's a band called The Reaction. I think they became Talk Talk, but that's sort of a punk compilation. Box set. I actually do not have any vinyl box sets. I have some CD box sets. So I will show you one that's not on vinyl. That's The Life and Crimes of Alice Cooper. This is a really good box set in the sense that most of the tracks on here are not standard album tracks. They're either demos, unreleased songs, B-sides, or single edits. I think this pretty much collects all the crap that wasn't on his album, so this is a pretty good box set if you're a fan of Alice Cooper. Album with a sporting theme. I couldn't find one right offhand, so I got this Beach Boys album that has surfing on the cover. Not sure if that counts or not. A jazz album. I only have a handful of jazz albums, but I picked this up at thrift store recently for like $1.99. It's Art Blakey Quartet, a jazz message, and from what I looked up, it's pretty valuable. But this is, I've only picked up a few jazz albums here and there if I see them at the thrift stores, and they're pretty hard to find, obviously, so that one's pretty good. A best of album. This is a best of T-Rex, T-Rextasy. One of those bands that you think you should like a lot more than, but for some reason there's just something missing. He has like a lot of great songs, but there's just something missing, I think, from the overall production. Like, I think live they sounded a lot better. Album with at least 8 people on the jacket. This was kind of a tough one. So I went with this Beatles compilation of their movie soundtrack songs, just like a best of their movie soundtracks. So it's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and a half. Oh wait, 10 people on the cover there. A soundtrack. This is Rumblefish, soundtrack done by Stuart Copeland from The Police. There's only one song on here with vocals that's like a real song. The rest of them are just like sort of ambient background music for movies. I was hoping it would be more percussion stuff since it's Stuart Copeland, but whatever. Show some VCLT. I got this from Aaron with Elmer, Drew Me Evil from Dio. Very underrated album for him. To me, it's right up there with the first two, Last in Line and Holy Diver, but not a lot of people talk about this one, so that one's really good. Album with no writing on the jacket. I just picked Led Zeppelin Presence. Actually had a few in a row with no writing. In Through the Outdoor. 7-inch single. I just picked this one. This is Come Dancing from the Kinks. B-side is Noise. I pick up like the record store I go to is the Princeton Record Exchange, and they have these huge boxes of singles. Most of them are only $1. If I see ones with cool picture sleeves, I pick them up, but I'm not really a 7-inch collector, I would say. A colored vinyl album. A lot of stuff comes out on colored vinyl now, so I wanted to pick something older. This is the 12-inch single to Joan Jett's version of Cherry Bomb. She had redone the Runaways classic, and this is the red vinyl it's on. And finally, an album from 1982, Iron Maiden, Number of the Beast. So that's it. That's my vinyl tag. Like I said, if you like these videos, please subscribe, and I'll talk to you guys later. Thanks.